Hey, Sammy, you ready to crack that beer and keep drinking a little more whiskey?
Shaka Khan.
Yes, Shaka Khan.
I don't know. Are you an Ace Ventura fan?
Barely, kind of.
I am.
Shaka.
Okay, well, with that being said, let's start the show. Hello and welcome to Injury Time, a completely biased preview of the weekend's fixtures exclusively for our Patreon supporters, as told by two common American schmucks. I am Sam Houston, and across the way from me is your boy, my boy, our boy, Samuel Graham. Sammy, how you doing?
Alrighty then.
There we go. That's a kid. All right. Well,
I even contorted my face.
yeah, you did the whole
did,
thing
he
and
did.
everything.
I know. Too bad we don't have any cameras in here.
That's, hey, if we get more Patreon people, maybe we have
We
a
can
live
buy some,
cameras
yeah.
and do some viewing.
Maybe I can quit my second job.
I can make a Patreon goal.
Well, that's one of the key
Ooh.
things we want to make sure everybody knows. We are not trying to monetize this. We are literally just trying to recoup
But our losses.
recoup a little bit of money. You know,
Yeah.
it does cost cash to do this, and cost a little money every month, and the microphones and all that good stuff. So honestly, it's recoup money, and anything extra we make, we are putting right back into this. So
Yeah,
that is
so-
all this is for.
That being said, that Patreon goal should be over 1.2 million or so. It'd be nice.
Okay.
That's how much it'll be to recoup our losses.
All right, so let's go ahead and get into the weekend's action. Ooh. Let me just go ahead and cough real quick.
What was
I
the
don't
big?
know.
Ooh.
Because I
What was that?
losing my
My.
fucking voice. Because I caused the vapors.
Ooh la
You
la.
must forgive me. All right, so we got some Friday Night Lights this week. The Foxes head to the Saints. Rodgers has Leicester running on all cylinders. They're doing great, finding ways to win every single time. But this weekend is the actual anniversary of the tragic loss of their owner, while it catapulted them this past weekend while they were at home. Might this hurt them on the road, Sam?
No.
No? Think they're just going to keep cruising along?
I think Leicester is scared of Brendan Rodgers' teeth in the dressing room, so I think they're going to play to whatever level they need to play to keep him from yelling at them and showing those fangs.
I think Jamie Vardy looks at those teeth and go, they can cut a good line, mate. That was Australian. I don't know why I did Australian for Jamie.
They'd look really good in my forehead. That's what Jamie Vardy's saying. Anyway, also, I want to see which Southampton cocksuckers do a fucking plane thing in the stands this time.
Oh, please let
After
one of
the
those
last
fucking
fucking time.
common fucks do that.
As you all are well aware, we took very high exception to some of the Southampton fans against Cardiff last season.
Yep.
With the airplane death of a signing that never actually featured for them.
Right.
So I think Leicester will have taken notice of that. I think they'll know what's happening. I think people will be aware of it, and I think they're going to put Southampton to the sword. I really do. Southampton's also not very good defensively. They're also not very good going forward. And in the midfield, they're shittier than Leicester. So I think Leicester's really going to put the stones to them. I probably will put this one at 3-0, away win to Leicester City.
We talked about it very briefly last week, but for House and Huddle, I think he's safe. And I think he's safe for at least another year. And I think it might actually be good for Southampton to go down, restack the academy, get yourself back to working status again, and then move yourself back up.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
And the way the championship works too, particularly a club like Southampton, I would expect a very quick promotion again.
Yeah, I mean, look what Fulham's doing right now in the championship. Fulham's thereabouts. You got West Brom on top, I think it is.
Leeds is in second.
Leeds is in second, and Fulham is putting in good performance. They just lost the bottom of the table, Stoke, but for the last few weeks, they've been putting in very good performances.
The championship teams 1 through 10 are less than 5 points apart.
Yeah, exactly.
It's fucking insanity down there right
Yeah,
now.
so I could see Southampton, same thing. If they go down, as long as they can hold on to a few of their parts, like Nathan Redmond would be a world beater in the championship.
Oh God, yeah.
They'd be fine.
And for
Wouldn't be
somebody
an issue.
like Redmond, why would he want to leave?
Exactly. So they come right back up. I'd agree
Why
with
would
that.
Ward-Prowse want to leave? You might as well just stay there and bring the team back up again.
Yeah, 100%.
I think Bertrand they'd probably lose because Bertrand is someone that I think enough teams would covet as a back.
Yeah,
as a
I'd
right
agree with
back that
that.
people would want.
Got a
But
fantastic left foot, that player.
I'm sorry, left back. I said right back, but yeah, definitely I agree with that. Saturday morning, early game. My wife gets to wake up and let out the chickens, and I get to sleep in. Villa head to Man City. Mel, you ready to do a shot of Malort?
I mean, miracles can happen.
Yeah. So we had
Palace
I'm
beat City.
optimistic.
Well, we had said
Palace did it. Come on.
well, Wolves beat City at City.
yeah, Wolves did
Yeah,
it. We
it's
can
true.
do it.
And Palace, like I said, last season 3-2. That Andros
Yeah.
Townsend screamer.
Yeah, but
Last season.
Yeah, we're warmed up. We're getting our shit together.
I think we've seen City's 2 slip-ups of the year. I don't think we're seeing any more. If they lose, they lose. If they lose, they lose to a big team.
I
in a
don't
big
think
match.
City's going to lose. Let me start with that. But
I think it's gonna be a draw.
if they start with Rodri and Fernandinho again,
It won't be. It'll be Fernandinho and Stones.
I could very well see Wesley manhandling the both of them.
Yeah, it won't be though. It's gonna be Stones and Fernandinho.
And if that happens, just listen to my pre-match here. If that happens, I could see a 3-2 City win.
okay,
Wesley getting both of them.
okay,
If that doesn't happen, I think it's a 3-1 City win.
yeah.
Still a win for City nonetheless, in my opinion.
Got
I'm
it.
still optimistic.
Yeah.
What time's that game?
7:30
a.m.
Ah,
Saturday
son of a
morning.
bitch.
Yeah, you get to do the early game,
Yep.
Son of a bitch.
and I'm gonna sleep. So the midday games has us with Everton heading to Brighton. Everton lost at the Amex last year. I know you did it in your prediction time, Sam. You took Everton to win.
Yep.
But just ask again, does Everton finally have what it takes to win a fucking road game?
If they come out like they did this past match, 2-0 against West Ham, I think at this point, Marco Silva should just take his hands off and say, don't fuck with it.
Yeah.
That same lineup should head out. That same lineup should go, and they should have the same approach as they did at home.
There's zero reason why you make a change.
Why not?
You shouldn't.
Yeah. And their most creative player in Aaron Moy is suspended.
Yeah.
So the service to the front two are going to be cut off a bit.
Yeah.
Yerry Mina and Michael Keane are going to have enough time and space that they should be able to deal with anything appropriately. I think this is a comfortable Everton win. I'm going to specifically say 2-0. Again.
Okay. Very good. Very good. Set piece could find us reeling, even though we did well with the set pieces this past week. But let's face it, we only had to face 2 corners, and those 2 corners were right at the end of the game.
Right.
Got away with that. For Everton in particular, if you can go ahead and get this road win, that, suddenly you then are facing Spurs, who are completely falling apart, and you get them at home, you got to feel like you could possibly go on a run. Because
Absolutely.
After Spurs, it's Southampton and Norwich. I'm not sure what order, but you can rattle off 5-6 real quick
Yep.
before you hit December. And December, let's not fuck around. December gets tough. The easiest game they have in December is Leicester and Manchester United. They go to Liverpool and they go to Chelsea.
When in December do they play Liverpool? That's going to be postponed.
Fairly early, I believe.
That'll be postponed. Liverpool's will be at the Club World Cup.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So you get a week off.
Oh, that might
when
be,
everybody else
that'll
has to be
big.
fucking running.
That'll be big.
Yeah, absolutely.
And also in 2 weeks too.
Now in mid-March when it gets replayed, you're going to be fucked. But
right. And we have everybody also this week is Europe for everybody, but
Yep.
next week is Carabao Cup.
Yep.
Yeah, so
So
you
there's
guys
2
got
midweek
You guys
games.
got
Yeah.
Liverpool next week in the Carabao.
Yep. We do, which we'll lose. well,
The battle of backups is what that'll be. Bournemouth travel to Watford. Hornets were hard done. They should have gotten 3 points this past week.
100%.
So does this galvanize them or does this defeat them?
I don't know. I think they're still bad enough that Bournemouth could do something on the road, which you said in prediction time. However,
That's absolutely what I picked.
the level of performance was much better this past week from Watford.
Since City, there's been inspiration in their game.
Since Arsenal,
Yeah.
and then they shit the bed against City. I think that was more of a mental problem from
Right.
the FA Cup game at the end of last
Well,
season.
and also the minute they started scoring, when they got a couple
that
quick,
was
you're
it.
just like,
yeah.
you
You saw the Watford players almost deflate,
Yeah.
like Big Hero 6 when he ran out of gas.
Yeah.
The It's one for the nerds.
You haven't seen anything but the previews on that.
Yeah, but I know who he's talking about, so we're good.
Like you're giggling like you're in the know.
Yeah, but I know who he's talking about, which is what makes
Well,
me
I made a
giggle.
really niche reference for a specific age
Well, you
group
have
during
kids,
the main
so
show.
of course it's why you know it.
During the main show, so I wanted to make sure I got one for the kids in this show.
Very good, because yes, the kids are listening to this show because they've got a bank account.
But Taylor's a bad parent like us. His kid took the video of him doing Malort for the first time.
I love how I'm a bad parent and I don't even have any fucking kids. But we already know I'd be a shitty fucking parent.
First off,
That's
you've
great.
got 2 kids, because everyone knows that if me and Rob both got divorced, we'd both be fucking you. So
the
let's be real.
veritable there would be getting fucked by me because we know who the bottom would be in the relationship, Sammy. We know who the bottom would be
Why does it always end with man love?
because it's always about man love.
because
so
we-
much man love.
because we love each other, Mel. For fuck's sake.
Our love will not be denied. Fuck off, woman.
So I could honestly see why I could make a case at least for Watford winning this game. I could also make a case for Bournemouth winning this game, but I think Bournemouth is much the better chance to do so. They have a little bit more of a track record. They've been a bit more consistent than Watford has, obviously, judging by their league standing.
Right.
And just the depth that they have with Solanke, with Callum Wilson, with Harry Wilson and how he's been playing, with Ryan Fraser providing for all of the above,
Right.
Josh King.
Heck, and Frazier hasn't even been playing a ton either.
Nathan Ake. I could see Bournemouth. You can make a much better case for Bournemouth. However, with the recent Watford performances, you could make a case for Watford. I'm probably going to go with a draw here,
Right.
in my opinion, and probably a 1-1. I agree with your Callum Wilson, but I think there's going to be a moment where Decore or Andre Gray or Will Hughes finds themselves in a decent position, just because it's Bournemouth away from home.
Well, there's a reason why there were good odds to the bet that I made, because in all actuality, it should probably be a tie. Now, I'm just going off of the form of that Watford's going to feel kicked in the nuts.
Still hasn't won a game this season.
That they're and that one that they think they might actually get is when they look at one and go, okay, this is one we can get, is typically when you fuck up. Because that first win of the season is normally like a win against Spurs, which is what it should have been.
Right.
You know, but
I agree
hunting
with
for that
that.
first win is not typically the one you look at the schedule and go, okay, this is the one we're going to get, because that's the one you try too fucking hard and typically fuck up.
Now, I get this one could end up as the lead argument for the show next week.
Yeah.
This one could also end up as so that happened and seen.
Yeah. Yeah.
This could be the most boring game you've ever watched. It could also be quite exciting and end-to-end stuff.
Yeah.
Don't know.
Well, that's what you're going to expect from both of these teams, because
Yeah.
neither one of these teams are necessarily fabulous defending teams, but they both love to attack.
Yeah.
And they love to bring motion. So
Absolutely. So, like I said, with these, you just it's a toss-up, really. You can make an argument for both sides.
So West Ham hosts Sheffield United. Hammers looked at best absent last weekend against Everton at Goodison. What West Ham do we get? Because this team has talent.
I don't know if it matters, because Sheffield United is going to put 10 behind the ball. And does West Ham employ the tools to break that down?
Well, that's definitely where you need a Yarmolenko,
Exactly.
because that guy can rip it from 18
Anywhere.
and 25 yards out,
Yeah.
which will make a defender have to step the ball. And when a defender has to step the ball, that means he's leaving space behind him.
Exactly.
And that's where you let the
And Yarmolenko can pass the ball
Lanzini-
also. Yeah.
the Lanzinis and the Felipe Andersons of the world that just kind of cut in between those spaces. You know, that means
Exactly.
a lot, and they can't fall asleep at the wheel.
Exactly.
Or better yet, they can't fall asleep in the bar before going and getting back into their car, which is what they did against Everton at Goodison. They just
100%.
never got out of bed and got into the car to drive to the match because they just slept the entire time. So
And Sheffield's organized. You saw it today against Arsenal.
if it's one thing they do very well is they're fucking organized, you
Yep.
know. So
Yep.
now I feel like
Yep.
they're gonna make mistakes and things are gonna happen. Why are you laughing so much?
She's laughing at me.
I'm laughing at both of you. He's like, they're organized. Yep, they're fucking organized. Yep, they're organized.
Right, we're allowed to agree with one another for fuck's sakes.
Y'all were in like a little circle there for a moment.
Sam?
We were verbally snuggling.
Sam, and you know what we can,
we
can both verbally agree on?
She's not fucking organized.
She should hit the fucking mute button. That's exactly what she should do. Final match. The final match of Saturday sees Chelsea travel to their bogey team, Burnley.
To everyone's bogey team, really.
Let's just Chelsea loves to bottle it against Burnley.
That's true.
And being winners of 5 straight in all competitions, this begs for a Burnley 2-0 win or a 2-1 Burnley win.
Or a 3-0 like
Yeah.
they did against Chelsea at the opening game of a few
Yeah, but that
seasons
was
ago.
at the Bridge.
That was
I
at the
think,
Bridge,
Yeah,
yeah.
but this just screams
Well-
trip up for Chelsea, doesn't it?
2 young center backs. Are they going to be able to deal with Chris Wood
Yep.
and Ashley Barnes? Their physicality, their movement. Are they going to be able to jump with them, to be honest? I think they're both 6'3", Chris Wood and Ashley Barnes. So are they going to be able to get up with them? Are they going to be able to take care of it? I don't know. And with young McNeil and a few others, they are able to get forward. Jeff Hendrick comes to mind.
Yep.
They are able to get forward and whip crosses in. You also have the set piece issue where you got Ben Mee, Tchaikovsky, Ashley Barnes, Chris Wood, right? You've got 4 fucking players, and then that are tall, big, strong. You also have Rodriguez.
Yep, Jay Rodriguez off the bench.
That's able to put the ball into the box.
Yep.
You know, I could see this one finishing in a 1-1 draw.
This
personally,
I very much agree. I think Burnley is going to give Chelsea fucking fits this weekend. And I could see this being a draw. I can even see Burnley winning. If Chelsea's able to get out of this with an impressive win, that's a big growth for them.
I hear you.
Big fucking
Absolutely.
step for them. Cause,
it'd be a big mature performance.
yeah, because this is a much tougher competition than I think most outsiders think that this game is.
Burnley at home is the new Stoke at home.
Yeah, except for Burnley actually plays fairly attractive football
It also
outside of what's. I mean, Stoke was just we're going to put 11 behind the ball and hope we get a penalty.
Well, yeah, I'm just saying it's that hard of a performance. They're
Oh, yeah.
that physical.
Oh, yeah.
Burnley.
You're not
They
going to
still
score.
try to play, but it's that physical.
Yeah. We're gonna get 10 behind the ball. You're not going to score. And by the way, when this game's over, you're going to hurt.
The other thing
You're
is
going to hurt a lot.
It doesn't piss down with rain in Burnley like it does in Stoke.
Very true. Very, very true. So Sunday gives us 4 games. We have. I wish they had spaced it out better.
4-game Sunday sucks.
But
I hate 4-game Sundays.
There's like 1 9 o'clock game, and then there's like 3 11:30s. Why
Yeah.
not 2 9s and 2 11:30s?
Ooh,
And,
my phone
split it
says
up.
12:30.
okay,
Did
yeah,
we
I
switch
might,
the clocks back?
yeah, it is. It is next week. Is no 2 weeks. Very good. See, Mel produced us something with
Why
the
are
head
we
nod.
at 12:30 then?
I don't know.
That's
So-
weird. That's an odd kickoff time.
So the early game has Newcastle welcoming Wolves. So which side will we get? No, seriously, Sam, both of them. Which side will we get? Because I have no fucking clue.
Me either. 0-0 draw.
It's like okay. So which
Toss a
Newcastle?
coin.
Which Newcastle do we get? I don't know. Which Wolves do we get? I don't know.
Newcastle's at home.
Wolves will.
They've got
Again,
the 2
Mr.
young
Allergies
lads. They
killing
got
me.
the 2 young lads.
Yeah.
At Newcastle. So the place will be jumping. They can see it's a European week. This is going to be a team that could be get got at.
Yeah.
If that makes sense to
Yeah.
anybody. I think Wolves going to be tired. I
Wolves-
think they've been tired all season.
Wolves don't have a deep bench.
I think it's going to be an issue. And Newcastle, that under Rafa, which in the last 2-3 weeks, you can see the players are kind of taking over the Steve Bruce mentality and forcing, hey, this is what we did and we were successful under Rafa Benitez. We're just going to fucking do this. Steve Bruce isn't as animated on the touchline as he was in the first month of the season.
Right.
So I think the players are kind of running the show a little bit. And I think this is a game that they're going to earmark that we can get fucking points in.
Probably for the better too, that the players are the ones running the show.
Absolutely.
You know,
Steve
it's-
Bruce has one of the worst Premier League records that there is.
You know, you want to think. You know, we haven't talked about this for a while with Newcastle, but you want to think that maybe them losing and going down would be a good thing. But no, it won't, because that means Ashley absolutely will not sell the club. So it's like
Correct.
you want them to survive and maybe stay up, and maybe the minority ownership can finally take over the club. Maybe.
Or Sheikh Khalid
Yeah.
comes back in and does something.
Right, but it all comes down to if they go down, Ashley's going to be like, well, I can't get as much money for this,
Correct.
which is what happened before because there was talk of him going down.
It's going to be more, I can't get so much money for this.
So Palace head to the north end of London to face Arsenal. You're going to be
There's
able
a
to
fireplace to my left.
I noticed that. I was just letting it go because you did it so well. It didn't need pontificating.
Yeah,
from
but
me.
I like being obvious about it because it makes it more funny, in my opinion.
Oh, okay.
It's like
gotcha.
the Office style of humor.
Did you laugh to yourself?
I did.
Are you laughing to yourself right now?
I'm laughing in public right now.
Do you feel good? Do you feel better about it?
No.
Okay. So
Still a whore. Still a whore.
Are you going to do the same bullshit you did to Palace last year at home and lose to them, or are you going to actually right the ship?
I think the only place we're the top 4 version of Bournemouth.
Come on, let's all
Okay.
do shots next week. Shots.
No, you
I'd
two
rather
can do
not.
shots, and I not do shots. That'll be great.
Shots.
Nah, Glenn Murray's coming off the
Everybody.
bench in the 89th minute to score
Heard.
2-1.
Heard Glenn.
Anyway, I still don't change my prediction from earlier. Arsenal, Crystal Palace at the Emirates. I really do think Arsenal is going to have too much for him. I think the pressure mounting on Unai Emery is going to force him to start a creative presence, whether that's Mesut Ozil, whether that's Danny Ceballos, who knows. Somebody is going to be there to play. Lacazette featured today.
Yeah.
First time in a month. He's been out with an ankle injury. I think he starts. I think Aubameyang starts. I think we're at home. He's going to go for broke. I think we probably take this 3-1.
Little surprised Ceballos hasn't been playing lately.
He's annoying the fuck out of me with it. Me too.
Yeah.
Me too.
You make the loan, and the whole reason why you make this loan is to potentially buy.
And
you would
Granit
think
Xhaka
you-
just stands around and does nothing. Guendouzi is more of a box-to-box guy, as we've seen, because he's so busy. But Guendouzi can perfectly play that defensive midfield role.
Right.
So fuck Xhaka off.
Which is why
Start
Torreira's
Ceballos.
not really playing because Guendouzi's been playing so well. But why not just get Xhaka off the field and let Torreira play? Because at least
Or why
Torreira will
not
be
let your-
fucking energizer.
Why not let your wing-backs do what they're supposed to do and play a diamond in midfield with Torreira and Guendouzi next to each other and Ceballos on top of the diamond? Or
And-
on top of the triangle in midfield and give your wing-back space to move and operate.
He's finally fucking healthy. Why didn't Kieran Tierney at least see 10 minutes today?
Hector Bellerin, same thing. They both played 90 minutes in games previous to this.
Let him fucking get some fucking run.
Yep.
I guarantee you see a completely different defense when you put those two on the wings and
Absolutely.
let them fucking play.
Absolutely.
It'll be huge.
They're not as good. Don't get me wrong. They're not as good as Andy Robertson and Trent Alexander-Arnold.
Right.
But a lot of Liverpool's attack revolves around Mo Salah stretching the defense, right? Where you have Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang doing the same thing, right? Even Nicola Pepe's very fast. Final ball hasn't been there. That can be argued, but he's very fast, right?
Right.
That then clears space for the wingbacks to press up, and you can't get out of your fucking half.
Right. Because
Right? So you have Bellerin and Tierney, who are very fast, very efficient players that can now get up the pitch, much like Alexander-Arnold and Andy Robertson.
Right, and Robertson and Alexander-Arnold really aren't that great of fucking defenders.
No.
But
they don't need to be.
What works well for them is the fact that they're pushing tempo so much. What is the one thing everybody says when they play Liverpool? All the pundits say is you got to make Alexander-Arnold and Robertson be pushed back.
Defend.
You
Yeah,
have
to make them
Because
defend.
if you make them defend, they suddenly forget how to attack because they have to worry so much about the pressure coming at them. You know, they tend to like to just rely on the two center backs with Van Dijk and Matip, and
Yep.
then you put a Fabinho in front of them, and they let those other two guys run up the pitch. That's exactly what you guys need right now.
Absolutely.
Is let him just run up the pitch, particularly in the case of, I mean, I know he's not the best defender in the world, but David Luiz, if he's able to sit back there and get the ball on his
And
foot,
just ping balls
he's
out.
just going to ping. Exactly.
Not a
he's going to
problem.
put passes to
Yep.
people. Let him fucking do it.
So if we can do that, we'll win handedly. If we can't do that, it's going to be a long afternoon, and we may escape 2-1. I still think we win, but
Yeah.
it's going to be a lot tighter.
Yeah, very true. So
This perfectly brings us into the next game.
United travel to no, actually I was going to do United and Norwich first, but you want to go ahead and talk Liverpool and Tottenham? We can
Yeah,
do
let's
that.
do that.
Okay, and then we'll finish with Norwich because I was going to leave the thigh rubber for the
You
end.
guys just
But
want the stadium to blow up.
for that one, yeah.
Yeah, why not?
Well, I can guarantee you he wants one team to win and I want another team to win. It's pretty simple.
Yeah.
We don't want the same team to win. That's pretty
Truth.
easy to figure out.
I
And
figured that'd be pretty
I think we
obvious.
pretty much covered Liverpool in the analysis and comparison to Arsenal with what they would be. Spurs, on the other hand, need to pick their game up.
My question for you on this was, do we call this a thigh rubber or do we call this a head scratcher, this game?
Head scratcher. I don't think Spurs will be able to pick themselves up.
No.
For this.
And it's a perfect opportunity for them to face Liverpool because Liverpool, frankly, has been shit for 3 weeks.
Right, but so's Tottenham.
Yeah. I mean, Tottenham's been awful.
There's the other problem.
Awful.
Yeah. And I do
Dear
kinda,
God, I guarantee you City wishes they were playing Liverpool this weekend.
Absolutely.
Oh, my God. They know they'd work them.
I am excited to see the Harry Kane Virgil van Dijk matchup. I think that's going to be a lot of fun to watch.
Agreed.
I think that's going to be a good time.
Problem for him
But-
is he's got, outside of Son, he's got no support.
Correct.
Ali's been a shell of himself, and
Yeah.
really nobody
Now
else
has
up
to handle
front's
balls to score
doing
goals.
anything.
Yeah.
It's just not. It's not.
It's
good.
not working. Yeah, no, it's not.
It's
Nothing's clicking for
really
Tottenham.
Not good.
Nothing's clicking for
I
Tottenham.
mean, behind the curtain, I picked them second.
I think Liverpool.
I really thought Liverpool was going to completely bottle it this season, and I went City, Tottenham, fucking Liverpool. That's my top three that I picked in my.
I think I put Tottenham in fourth.
I don't even know if they're gonna. But I don't even think they're gonna finish fourth right now.
Not the way they're playing currently.
There's a lot of season. There's a lot to figure out. But like, put a gun to my head and say right now, who's going to be the top four? I'd say Liverpool and City in some form of capacity, and then Leicester and Arsenal in some form of capacity. And I'd say Chelsea would be fifth, and then sixth could be a hodgepodge of, West Ham, United, Wolves, Everton, like that realm. But yeah, that's.
I would worry about this game because you very eloquently put it as a head scratcher.
Yeah.
If Mo Salah's not back, there is a very clear argument that this could be a 1-1 draw. If you have Mo Salah, with the way Tottenham is playing currently and the way that he stretches defenses and brings others into play and does things and becomes the focal point, which frees up Mane and Firmino, I think Liverpool walks out 4-1, 4-0.
And you know something you
Tops.
never see Klopp do? He never changes formation.
No.
It's always 4-3-3.
Everybody knows their
And
fucking job, though.
But if you don't have Mane and you really, let's say you decide not to go with Oxlade-Chamberlain, why not go to a 4-4-2?
But yeah, no, 100%. I'm with you there.
You know?
Hey, I mean, he had Henderson playing on the right wing at one point.
Yeah, but why not go
the
to a
other day.
4-4-2 and have it be Firmino and Mane up top together, and throw Henderson and you do Henderson and Fabinho in the middle, and you do Naby Keita and Gigi Wijnaldum on the outsides,
Yeah.
and just have this wall of passers behind the two of those guys, and just let them feed.
Yeah.
Just
Absolutely.
probing passes into the box,
Absolutely.
let those two run onto it because that's what those two do great.
Do best
you know?
at it. Yeah, 100%.
And then you have the two wingbacks that are able to swing up and throw in crosses as well. But,
Absolutely.
But you've never seen Klopp ever make adjustments. He
Ever
just,
deviate from that plan.
this is who you are, So, yeah, I don't know what the fuck to expect with that match.
Me
I
either.
really don't. So the final match with
I'm going to say Liverpool wins, though.
probably.
I'm gonna say
Probably.
you can make an argument for a draw, but I say Liverpool wins.
At Anfield, I figure even playing crappy, they figure out a way to win. But then they need a very convincing win against Villa the next week before they go off to host City. Because if they're still in the same form they are in right now, City will walk into Anfield and City will walk out with 3 points. Period. End of discussion.
100%.
They will, and it will be oh fuck, we can't blow it. Thought will just
Agreed.
immediately go into Liverpool's head.
Yep.
So Liverpool needs an impressive win. They need a very impressive win. So the final one would be United traveling to struggling Norwich. So after playing amazing, how is United going to fuck this up, Sammy?
This screams Norwich win.
Oh, God, yeah, it does. Yeah.
2-1 or 3-1.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
This
yeah.
screams Norwich win.
Oh, yeah.
I think United may, if Ole can figure out how to motivate them properly, I think this could finish a draw. But I don't think United, with Carrow Road bumping, I don't think United's going to come out of there with all 3 points. I really don't.
And
even as shit as Norwich has been, they've been
Yeah.
leaking goals left and right.
Norwich has really been hurting lately, and
but
I
they're
guarantee
really
you,
good
Norwich,
against the big teams.
Norwich sees this one and goes, you know what?
We can take this.
Fancy a go at this
Yeah.
match.
At home,
Yeah.
especially, not being scared, absolutely.
Do
I
you,
think Timo Pukki ends his goal drought,
Yeah.
at
Do
the very least. Even if they lose, I think Pukki scores.
Same question we posed about Liverpool. Do you go to a 4-4-2 and start Martial and Rashford together and just say we're gonna fucking throw it at the net?
I was going to throw you that question. Where's Martial been? Is he hurt?
He's been
why
hurt.
is-
He just came back. He got
Okay.
into the end of the.
I was wondering
Liverpool
where he's
match.
been. I haven't
Yeah, he's-
seen him for a
He's been
while.
hurt. He's been hurt.
To be honest, besides Pogba, which is a give or take, to be fair, Martial's been their best player this whole season.
Yeah, you run your normal standard back four. I don't know how much longer it's going to be till Shaw's healthy. It will really help if Shaw gets back because then
Absolutely.
you don't have to play Young. Nothing against Young, he's just too old to be starting all the time.
Yeah,
But then you
100%.
go McTominay and Fred, who again he put in a shift.
Yeah.
Now, granted, we're talking about the money they spent on him. He should be doing more than putting in a shift. He should be affecting the game. But you go with that, and then you go Pereira and James on the outsides,
Yeah.
and then you throw Martial and Rashford up front, and you say we're going to have a go. This team's their entire defense is hurt. Let's not play defensive. Let's have a fucking go because we're Manchester fucking United, for crying out loud.
Right. And there's the thing. Is he going to set the team up to be proactive, one, knowing what Norwich's football can be? Two, is Norwich going to give a shit about that, and are they just going to go for it? Three, is Manchester United, based on the game against Liverpool, their biggest rival, the European champions, at Old Trafford, right?
Yeah.
Are they going to be... Can Ole Gunnar Solskjaer motivate them enough for a game at little old Carrow Road?
That's the question.
Can he get them up for that game to put in that level of performance? Because just the level of performance will guarantee them a win in this game.
Yeah.
But we've already seen this season, they can't get up for these small games.
No.
They haven't been able to.
Went to St.
And
James Park and lost.
And I think the football that Norwich plays could rip Manchester United to shreds.
Yeah. Calls him fit.
Lindelof looked like shit again against Liverpool.
He's soft.
He's not a good center back. He's
soft.
as shit.
He's so soft. And
He
it doesn't
got
matter how
lucky.
much you expect of Maguire to do. He can't do it all himself. He has to have a pairing a la Van Dijk where Matip finally manned up and started playing like a real center back. He doesn't.
Exactly.
Maguire does not have that. Lindelof is soft.
Listen, if Manchester United did not get lucky that Sadio Mane handled that ball, it's a Liverpool win all day.
Oh yeah.
Because Lindelof found himself in a terrible position on the wrong side of Mane, and Mane it kind of skimmed off his thigh and hit his arm unintentionally. He was just running,
No, he
just
was just
normal
running.
arm pump, right? That's all it was, and it hit his arm. Unfortunate for him.
But that's the new rule.
Lindelof found himself in the wrong position on the wrong side of a smaller, weaker player, right? Lindelof's got him by 5 inches and probably 40 pounds.
Yeah.
And Mane got around him, got by him again.
Again.
This happens all the time. Eric Lindelof is not good enough for Manchester United.
What did Van Dijk do to the small, quick James?
He kicked the fuck out of him.
He literally put his elbow into his chest,
Yep.
knocked him on the ground. The refs had to, the trainers had to come on the field because he had lost his breath.
Yep. We like
And
to
he
call that
very-
a Sam Graham.
And he very simply put it to him, okay, kid, keep making those runs. Keep getting used to this.
Yep.
And Lindelof
Give it a
don't
try.
Lindelof don't have that.
Nope. He's soft. He's very, very soft. And Harry Maguire's is not that type of player. He's not that physical.
No.
That's just he doesn't play like that. He positions himself well, and that's fine. But he positions himself well against his player, not against the entire back four.
I don't want to ramble on too much longer. I want to go ahead and wrap it up. But wouldn't a guy like Lovren probably fit in really well with Maguire?
Well, he's the best defender in the world, so absolutely.
and with that, we will wrap it up. Sammy, any parting words?
Nah, not tonight.
Heard. Well, thank you very much for joining us for Injury Time, everybody. For Sam Graham, this is Sam Houston, and thanks for checking us out. Have a great night.
Good night. Music.
Here comes the old number one. And when you speak of me, speak well.